In this video, we're going to introduce the dashboard and how to use it. If you have not yet viewed the dashboard part 1 video, then it's a good idea that you go back and do so. You can find it by going to the JackBord homepage and clicking on the Start Here link on the top left-hand side, and then from there, click on the dashboard part 1 video. The best way to log into the dashboard is by going to the JackBord homepage and clicking on the dashboard link on the top left-hand corner. From there, you will be taken to the Google account login page. Log in using your Google account. All of the personalities you create will be associated with this Google account. Once you've logged in, you'll be taken to the dashboard's homepage. If this is the first time you've been using your dashboard, it will be empty and look like this. Once you add some personalities, you'll see them here. Before you can use your JackBord on the dashboard, you'll need to create a personality for it. This holds the settings and programs. Once you have done that, you will use the personality to adopt the JackBord. To create a new personality, click on the plus sign in the Create Personality panel. This will display the Create Personality JackBord ID prompt. The JackBord ID is the name you give the personality, and is made up of 2 words separated by a period. For example, Fred.dag, Mr.Blamo, and so on. In our case, the JackBord ID we wish to use is cat.dog. Type this in at the prompt, and then click the Create button. Now that we've created the new cat.dog personality, you should see it on your dashboard. It will be grey because we have not yet adopted the JackBord. So next, we need to use your new personality to adopt your JackBord. To do this, click on the Adopt button. This is the octagon on the top left-hand side of the cat-dog personality panel. This will display the prompt for the JackBord's factory ID, which is found on the back of the JackBord. Enter the factory ID at the factory ID prompt, and then click on the Next button to start the adoption. This will show the Color Challenge prompt. This is designed to ensure that you're adopting the correct JackBord. It works by having the JackBord display a sequence of 4 colors using the activity and user LEDs on the front. To make it easier, the colors will be repeated until the adoption succeeds, and there will be a delay before the start of each sequence. In our case, the colors were red, yellow, red, and blue. Once you've entered these in the order they occurred, click on the OK button. While the dashboard is connecting to the JackBord, the cat.dog panel will be orange. Now that the JackBord has been adopted by the cat.dog personality, you can see its panel go green on the dashboard. This means that the JackBord is connected to the internet and has been successfully adopted. The cat.dog panel tells you all sorts of things about the JackBord and also allows you to go to its dashboard. Starting on the top left, we have the Delete Personality button. Click this if you wish to delete the personality completely. Remember, this will remove not only the personality, but all of the settings and programs it contains. So make sure you back up any programs you don't want to lose. Next, we have the Release Adoption icon. This is the octagon with a cross in it. Click on this to release the JackBord from its adoption so that someone else can adopt it. All of the settings and programs are stored in the personality and not in the JackBord, so you won't lose them when you release the adoption. When you want to use the JackBord with this personality again, all you need to do is to adopt it using the personality. Hovering the mouse pointer over the Release Adoption icon will show the factory ID of the physical JackBord adopted by the personality. Next is the console shortcut, which is an experimental feature. It will take you to the new console. More about the command line later. This is the JackBord ID of the personality and is used to identify it. Hovering the mouse pointer over the JackBord ID will show the ID of the personality. The battery icon gives you an indication of the state of the JackBord's internal battery. Holding the mouse pointer over the icon reveals more information. The Wi-Fi icon tells you how strong the Wi-Fi signal is as seen from the JackBord's point of view. Holding the mouse pointer over the icon reveals more information. This is the play icon, and you click it to get to the JackBord's dashboard. This is where you will spend most of your time using the JackBord. This is the number of seconds since the JackBord was last rebooted. It tells you how long the JackBord has been powered on. This is the number of the currently running program. The boot program number is the number of the program the JackBord has been set to run when it is turned on. 0 means that no program will be run at boot. The background color of the JackBord's personality panel indicates its current status. If the panel background is grey, this means that the personality has been created, but no JackBord has been adopted yet. If the background is orange, this means that a JackBord has been adopted by the personality, but the JackBord is either turned off or it is not connected to the internet, and as such cannot be used. In this case, make sure your JackBord is turned on and connected to the internet. Finally, if the panel's background is green, this means that a JackBord has been adopted by the personality and it is connected to the internet, and can be used by clicking on the play button on the top right-hand corner. When you click on the play icon, you will be taken to the PROG page by default. You should see a program on the left-hand panel. If you don't, click on the program load icon. The PROG page is where you will write code in the JackBord using the Octagon programming language. We will cover programming in Octagon in another video. Look at the far left of the dashboard and you will see a number of links to other pages. For the rest of this video, we're going to take a brief introductory look at each of these pages. The first is the Start page. To get to the Start page, click on the Start link on the left side of the window. The Start page is where you will begin your journey with the JackBord. On the left half is the area where you can type commands into the JackBord and run them. The command prompt itself is at the bottom. This is where you type your commands, and the results of a command are displayed in the area above the prompt. The right-hand side of the Start page provides access to the Getting Started section of the JackBord website. These resources will help you get going and provide useful reference as well. Next, we have the Command page. This is a bigger version of the command panel from the Start page, and it's made up of two main areas. The first is the command prompt located at the bottom. This is where you type the commands you want the JackBord to run. The result of the command running will be shown in the area above the command line. Before you can type a command, the cursor shown by the arrow must be located at the command prompt. To get it there, use your mouse to click on the command prompt. As an example, place the cursor on the command line and type VS, and then press the Enter key. The VS command, or View Status command, will display the current status of the JackBord in the upper area as shown. We will learn more about the command line in future videos. The Live page shows real-time readings from the ports or sensors on the JackBord. These are shown on the left-hand side. This area will remain blank until a value changes. For example, if we turn on the port A1 pin, the Live page will show this change. We can see the A1 entry has appeared on the Live page because of the change. As the value of A1 continues to change, the last 10 readings are displayed on the page. You can view the table of the last 10 readings by clicking on the downwards pointing arrow on the far right of the row, as shown by the red arrow. The values on the Live page are updated in real time. The right-hand panel is linked to the JackBord website and provides a handy reference. The PROG page is where you will code or write programs on the JackBord. We will cover programming in another video. For now, we will look at the basic features of the program page. The left-hand side is where you will write your code. The right-hand side is where the output of the program is displayed. This is the Print tab, and there are a number of other tabs which do various jobs. The Print tab is selected by default and is where the output of your program is displayed. On the far left is the Ref tab. This is where you can access useful information from the JackBord website to help you program. The PROGs tab is a list of all the programs you have created. The Debug tab is where you go to get help finding bugs in your programs. And finally, the Show tab is where you can do drawings and display graphics. Programming the JackBord is covered in other videos. The Drive page is where you will drive your JackBord robot when it has motors and wheels attached. The joystick is located on the top left-hand side of the page and can be used with your mouse to drive your robot, just like a normal joystick. The two up and down arrows on the right-hand side of the joystick change its sensitivity. Clicking on the top arrow will make it more sensitive, and the bottom arrow less sensitive. The number pad in the middle has the keys 1 to 9. These are the user buttons U1 to U9 and can be used with the BTP or button press or BTR button release commands. We will learn more about using these buttons in another video. The arrow keys with the stop button in the middle is another means of driving. You can also use the keys on your keyboard to drive your robot. Now that we know something about the dashboard, it's useful to find out some of its other features. The port pin buttons are special buttons located along the top of every page on the dashboard. These show the current state of each port pin on the JackBord and also allow you to control them. The buttons are arranged in groups of 5, representing the pins on each of the ports A through to D. Each button represents the corresponding pin on its respective port. For example, the first button A1 represents the first pin on port A. When the state of a pin changes, this will be reflected on the corresponding pin button at the top of the page. If we were to turn on port pin A1, its button on the dashboard would go green. Likewise, if we turn it off, it will go red. If it's blue, which is the default, this means the dashboard does not know the current state. As soon as it does, the pin's color will be updated. You can also use these buttons to set the value of a pin manually by clicking on the button with your mouse to change its state. Keep in mind, the dashboard buttons will only work if the JackBord is connected. Finally, we come to the Talk icon, which appears on the lower right corner of every page. Talk lets you type messages and ask questions so you can get help. If someone is available to help you, the icon will look like this. To send a message, click on the icon and the message prompt will appear. Type your message and you will get a reply. Even if no one's available, it's worth leaving a message so that we can get back to you. Talk is also useful for when you find bugs or when you find something that doesn't work on the JackBord. Let us know and then we can fix it. Now that you know how to use the dashboard and have got your JackBord connected, you can move on to some of the other videos and explore all sorts of ways in which you can use the JackBord. You'll find them in the Start Here section of the JackBord website. In the meantime, if you want any other information or are just curious, you can visit us on www.jackbord.org.